You say we plant some okra?
I think we should plant some okra and soak seeds first.
Alright, I like to soak my okra seeds in hydrogen peroxide prior to planting for about 20 to 30 minutes. That's real good at speeding up the germination. You can see that working. You can also soak them overnight in some water, at least 12 hours. That'll soften them up. Otherwise, they just take a long time to germinate. Pour them on the strainer here, and now I'm gonna rinse them with some fresh water. Okay, should be ready for planting. Alright, here's my organic garlic, folks. I planted this back in October. I'm late in harvesting these. You want to get them when they're about half brown and let the garlic heads dry out in the raised bed. We were getting a lot of rain at the time, so I did what I could and I put up this little structure that shielded it from some excessive rains. I'm gonna harvest them and let them dry out in my shed in a shady, dry area for a couple weeks, and we'll see how we turn out. So I've been anxiously awaiting these cantaloupe ripening on the vine, and I've been coming out here every morning and checking them, looking for cracks around that stem, looking for some color changes. This one I've got here, I want to show you. See what happened there? It got basically swole up and split open with ripeness. It's a beautiful cantaloupe. You know, it's not ideal. However, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you're gonna take out the seeds and rinse it out and cut it up and eat it. And that's all there is to it. It's as ripe as it can be, sweet as it can be. I can smell it right here. Got a little, you know, window preview action. Okay, might not be pretty, but that's homegrown, organic, sweet cantaloupe. And I can get down with that. You gonna help me find some squash, Izzy? Why don't you see if you can stick your nose down there and find some? Yeah, that's it. That's the ones we want. See if you can get up in that patch and find me some more. I know they're hiding up there. Can you do that? It's over this way. That's what it looks like. That's what it smells like. See what you can do. It's my squash hound right here. Oh my goodness, you sure are cute. Who's a good garden doggy? You a good garden doggy? Yeah, you are. Way to go, Izzy. You found some squash. One of the most common insects that I will see in my vegetable garden during the warm season in the summer is the leaf-footed bug. I think one of the best and easiest controls for these guys, along with encouraging biodiversity in the garden and attracting beneficial insects and predatory insects to keep them under control, would be throwing them in a big bucket of soapy water. It does take a little courage to get out here and hand pick these guys and throw them in this soapy water, but if you got a good pair of gloves and you get up real early in the morning, these insects won't be moving as quickly. They'll still be warming up, getting active for the day. You can sneak up on them real easy. Don't let these little suckers get the best of you guys. You can get it going out here. You can grow some food. It's all about the balance in the organic vegetable garden. Here's 3 recommendations for vegetables you can grow from seed in the month of August. First recommendation is okra. Tried and true producer in the heat, in the drought conditions. My second recommendation would be southern peas. Varieties such as black-eyed, purple hull. Soil temperatures are really warm. They'll sprout pretty quickly. Recommendation number 3, y'all. Long beans. I really love the long beans. They produce throughout the season. Let me recap some of the factors that contribute to these specific vegetables doing well in the heat of summer. Soil temperatures, they're really warm. You're gonna get quick germination and they're gonna get growing fast. They can take the heat, y'all. They can take the sun. Drought tolerance is another factor that I wanna highlight, but I also wanna mention that for maximum productivity, if you can supply consistent moisture throughout the growing season, you're gonna have a better end result. So there are my 3 recommendations for drought hardy, heat tolerant vegetables you can grow throughout the summer from seed. Now get out there and get growing and keep it organic. What's going on, everybody? It's Scott coming to you from New Garden Road. Wanted to bring you some seasonal updates. All right, so what can you do in the garden? Planting season is right here, right now. You can plant some things like green beans, summer squash, and cucumbers. Those are gonna take roughly 60 days. Depending on where you are, you may not be able to get away with the same thing, but just keep that in mind. The days to harvest, that's an approximation of when you can expect to get some fruit off your plants. Shade cloth is a material that helps reduce the amount of sunlight that's getting to these plants. And that's important because as they sprout, or as you set in fresh transplants in your garden, they're going to be super tender. It'll keep the soil temperatures a little bit cooler. It won't dry out as quickly. They're less likely to get burned, and they'll really get established well. You can plant some cucumbers, green beans, and summer squash right now. Get them growing. Use some shade cloth, cover up those guys, build a little hoop house, give them some protection, and grow you some food. As always, folks, keep it organic. Starting seeds in hot, dry weather can be pretty tricky. Here in Central Texas, we're ready to start those seeds for a cool season, and it's really, really hot. It's really dry. You want to make sure you keep those seed beds evenly moist until they germinate. As soon as they germinate and pop out of that soil, hold off on the water and just give them regular watering like any of your other garden plants. Try using shade cloth. I really think that helps the soil to stay evenly moist longer. It doesn't dry out as quickly. All right, see, this is what I did for my cucumbers. And I mean, call me lazy, but I didn't want to take the trellis down. They germinated pretty quickly, so I took this big piece of shade cloth and I've got it wrapped around them. All right, there they are, my little Suyo long cucumbers. I love this Asian cucumber. It can thrive in the heat, doesn't get bitter. I got the shade cloth on here and they look like they're doing awesome. All right, come on. Come on, cucumbers, get some. Good luck with it, y'all, and as always, keep it organic. Yo, check it out. This is the Seminole pumpkin. It's a variety of squash that I've grown successfully a few times. I planted this in March, guys, and not all the plants survived, but most of them did, and they have been growing back steadily here recently. They got some rain. They are gonna get growing and flower and set more fruit. It's a champion, guys. It's a squash that you can pick when it's green and use like a zucchini, use like a summer squash. Otherwise, you can let it mature and you'll get a small pale orange pumpkin, like a sweet butternut squash, very resistant to the squash vine borer. Now, that doesn't mean the squash vine borer won't get in there and do some damage and slow down the plant, but it does mean this plant has adaptations which have proven to me that it can take it and still give some fruit. So kudos to the Seminole Champion. How do you like to water your garden? Do you use a hose or a sprinkler, drip irrigation, drip lines, soaker hoses, watering can, bucket? Do you not water at all? You want to go for deeper, longer soakings in the garden. That's going to promote a deeper, more well-developed root system. Shallow watering promotes a shallower root system. Drip irrigation is the way to go. It's the most efficient way to get water to the soil on a deep level. It's going to soak in slowly and deeply over time, and that's going to be more efficient. You're not going to have evaporation that you would get from a sprinkler. If you're watering with a hose or a sprinkler, just keep in mind that water is not really penetrating that deeply. Test it out. Take your garden trowel and open up the soil and see how deep it penetrated. Look into the drip irrigation system. It is much easier, much more efficient, and much more worthwhile of your time and investment if you can swing it. I'll see you in the garden next time. Keep it organic. Whenever I'm ready to plant some new veggies in my garden, whether that be from seed or from transplants, I like to amend the garden soil. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm going to add some compost and fertilizer to my raised bed. Yeah, that's it. That's amending the soil, guys. It's just that simple. Soil is kind of like adding salt and pepper to your eggs or dressing to your salad. It's what brings it all together. It's what makes it good. It's also like a probiotic because you're adding a lot of life. You may have a lot of choices, you may not. If you're looking for compost, you can produce high quality compost in your backyard. I'm using a commercially produced compost. One of the first things you're going to consider is the texture. This is a really fine compost. You may see fine wood chips in there. If you see a lot, then that's what you're putting in the garden, a lot of wood chips. I think one of the key things that I look for in a quality compost is the aroma too. It smells nice, it smells earthy, it smells like a forest, it smells like nature. Your compost shouldn't smell like ammonia or bacteria, anything rotten. It should smell like earth. It smells good. Guess what time it is? It's time to plant some plants. I've got 32 organic kale plants. Izzy, can you certify the kale organic? Prune off any yellow or damaged leaves, particularly these low ones. Let's start digging a hole and plant something. I've made the hole slightly wider. This would be a good time if you wanted to add some extra soil amendments. Things like fertilizer, compost, or even soft rock phosphate. Those nutrients will be there, ready for the roots once they start to branch out and look for nutrients. You can apply these same techniques whether you're planting a small vegetable start like this, or an herb, a flower, some type of perennial, even if they're larger sizes, same principles. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some tips, and I hope you got some of these little guys growing in your garden. Leave me a question or comment below, and as always, keep it organic. What's going on, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to New Garden Road. We're gonna plant some garlic today. We're gonna drop the garlic in the bed, one time, one clove. Don't remove the skins or separate the garlic cloves until you're ready to plant. That's going to ensure their viability. We are going to plant 9 per square foot. When spacing on a crop says it can be planted, say, every 4 to 6 inches, this would be suitable with regards to the square foot gardening method. It's got 4 square inches to grow. You want the garlic clove to make contact with the soft rock phosphate, and that's going to stimulate vigorous, healthy root growth. I'm planting these garlic. It's the end of October, and I expect to have them ready by the end of May, approximately. There's a reason I plant so much, and that's to hedge my bets. Hopefully the crop will come out, and I want to be able to save some to plant next year. And if I can get on that cycle and do that continually, I'll probably get a really strong homegrown strain of garlic. I got all those in, made several passes with my water wand, gave them a good watering, deep soaking. I went ahead and put a nice layer of pine straw mulch on the bed. That's going to help keep the weeds out. The weeds can steal nutrients. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some tips, and I sure hope you got some garlic growing in your garden. Leave me a question or comment below, and as always, keep it organic. Hey, what you know about kale? Check it out. It's the dazzling blue right here. Got some rainbow, dino, starboard. What's going on, everybody? I am in North Carolina for a few days, checking out the garden that I built here about a year and a half ago. We are dormant for the season. Nothing but deer tracks in these garden beds. Got some mulch, got some leaves, protecting that soil. Still looking good, holding together. Hope y'all are doing good out there. What's going on, everybody? Scott coming to you from New Garden Road here in Austin, Texas. Happy holidays from the garden. Keep it organic. Time to thin my spinach right here. This is a giant spinach. Planted every 12 inches. Gonna get to be a pretty big plant. See, there's like 5 of them in there. Gonna prune out some of those small guys and eat them. Look at these cute little lettuces. How cute is that? The romaine is off to the races. Hello, Mr. Turnip. This is a Burgundy Sprouting broccoli. Hey, I've never grown it before. Experimental, but looks really fun so far. Totally jazzed over here. Just walked around my garden a good bit, seeing what's growing, how things are doing. Yeah, foggy morning here in Central Texas. Hope you're good wherever you are. You can grow your own food. What's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna fertilize the garden. I've got a 3-gallon pump-up sprayer. It's pressurized, hand pressurized. This is probably one of the most crucial elements. This sits down in the bottom of the tank and it filters out some of the bigger particles. I like to remove that, make sure it's not clogged in any significant way. Give it a strong blast of water. You want to fill up the tank with rainwater, otherwise distilled water, spring water. Put the purest, cleanest water possible in with those elements. All right, it's your organic vegetable garden. What's up guys, it's Scott from New Garden Road coming to you with some timely seasonal tips. Are you growing asparagus? This is a perennial vegetable. It can live up to 25 years. What you need to do this time of year is make sure it's been cut back to the soil level and then top dress it with a high quality compost. That's pretty much all you need to do for the asparagus. Your asparagus should be good to go when the soil temps get at the right spot, probably in the March-April range. You're gonna have about 6 to 8 weeks of harvest time. Don't be surprised if you get a few sporadic spears between now and then. However, now is the time to perform the annual maintenance on your asparagus.